Hey, this Judge and Waits bringing you my very first hardcore team deathmatch on the new Call of Duty Ghosts, and as you can see, it's going to be on the map Chasm. I actually picked this up at the midnight release from GameStop. Oh man, I was really surprised because I've been going to these midnight Call of Duty releases for at least 5 years in a row, and I have to say the attendance at this one was about half of what it normally is. And I'm sure that has something to do with the new consoles coming out. At least that's what Kingdom Soldier was telling me, and I tend to agree with that. But managed to pick this up, jumped on, played a core domination game because they do not have hardcore domination, and that's one of my favorite game modes. So I did that, and then my friend Babs popped on, and so we got into some hardcore TDM. And like I said, this was my very first match. Now, a couple things that you're going to notice. These maps are big. Man, we're talking like Battlefield, not quite that big, all right, but they're big for Call of Duty maps. I was fully expecting to get into a Jeep or something like that. And I wanted to show you this first part because I am going through this map trying to find somebody, and it's really hard. So let me tell you this. If you're going to be playing, make sure you take your time, especially if you're playing hardcore and especially hardcore team deathmatch. Make sure you take your time, check your corners, and just be a little cautious, because whenever a new game comes out or new map packs comes out, you have those people that are just going to be sitting in corners. I don't understand that, because me personally, I want to get around the map and learn it and get to know it and everything like that, so I tend to move around. But you have these people that I think are worried about their KD, or maybe they're just not doing so well, so they slow down and then just plant themselves in a corner for an easy kill. So be careful with that. Now, I will say this. I think it was pretty smart for Infinity Ward to put the call-outs in the game. If your character sees another person, they will actually call that out, or you'll hear some other character actually call out, hey, this guy's running through the open, or he's up in the red brick building, or something like that. Now, of course, you might not know what they're talking about or where that is, but as with any Call of Duty, there's going to be that learning curve that we need to get used to that. But I think that was a smart move on Infinity Ward's part, especially with the size of these maps. Now, I tell you what, because of the size of these maps, I am really missing the UAV. That is one of my favorite perks, especially when we're first starting out and I'm trying to get used to a map. Unfortunately, the UAV is gone, and now we have this SATCOM thing. If you put one SATCOM down, it's like this portable device, and you kind of get this mini UAV. But it's really not really that strong as the old UAV or anything like that. So it really takes teamwork to make that work, because if another one puts one out, it kind of links up and you get a bigger perspective of the map and more things show up on it. If you put 3 of those bad boys out, like I just placed that one right there, then you get an advanced UAV. So make sure that your teammates are rocking the SATCOMs, especially, you know, in week 1 as you're trying to get used to these maps. I'd also probably recommend running a silencer or suppressor. I can't remember what they call it in this game, but running one of those on an assault rifle. You see me running an SMG. Man, playing hardcore on these large of maps, I was actually expecting one of these maps to be kind of smaller. There is one or two that is a little bit smaller, but a lot of these are larger, and you need to be picking people out in windows across the map or something like that. So I'd really recommend running an assault rifle with a suppressor when you're just first starting out. You also might want to run that perk that actually keeps you hidden from the SATCOM, because I tell you what, you don't actually get to see it in this match because I cut a lot of the slow parts out, but there are a lot of enemy SATCOMs that are actually called up. And let me say this too, you know, this is playing a lot slower than in Black Ops 2, at least the team deathmatch portion, and that's partly to do with there is now that respawn delay. Sometimes you're waiting 2 seconds to respawn, sometimes you're waiting, you know, 14 or 15 seconds. I really do not like that. I wish they'd take that out, but unfortunately for now, we're going to be stuck with that. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I picked up that little cyan or light blue colored briefcase. Those are field orders. If you pick those up, usually it's from shooting somebody or somebody shooting one of your teammates. Then you'll get those field orders, and they'll tell you to do something. like the one I got said, jump, you know, earn 1 kill while jumping. You can see it in the left-hand side. That's why I tried to jump and pick that guy off, and I failed miserably. But if you manage to do that, you'll get rewarded with a care package, and usually something really nice in doing doing that. So I don't know if you want to concentrate on that or if you don't want to. Normally I don't like running care packages. It kind of takes you out of the game for a while, but I've noticed when I have done it, I've got some really nice surprises from doing that. So you might want to check that out. Oh, and speaking of surprises, before I forget, we are actually dealing with reflective damage now. So if you shoot your teammate, whether you do it on accident or on purpose, you are going to take the death and you are going to die. So I kind of like that change because no longer are we going to have to deal with people like Kingdom Soldier coming into hardcore TDM and actually throwing flashbangs and everything like that, because it's just going to affect you. So I like that change. One thing that I don't like, or one thing that's missing, is now, especially with these new maps, you cannot press the start button or the back button. I can't remember which one it is, but you cannot pull a map up. You know how you could press that start button and pull an overall map up so you could see where you were at and where you needed to go, and you could see your teammates and everything like that? That is gone. Also, another thing that's gone is your signal strength. You know, that 3-bar, 4-bar, and everything like that. That is gone. And I tell you what, it's not because we're running dedicated servers right now, because we aren't. I don't know if they're not in place, but I had plenty of host migrations, and I tell you what, the lag is still there, just like it was in Black Ops 2. Now, there are some solid connections, maybe not as bad in Black Ops 2, but we still have those lag issues. But that's all I can think about right now. Man, I was thinking there was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, spawns. Man, I tell you what, I'm still getting spawn killed. You know, you have to wait 15 seconds to spawn back in, and then when that happens, you get shot immediately without even moving. That is a pain in the butt. And I've been saying this for a long time. They need to put some kind of minimum distance that you spawn away from an enemy. Oh man, I wish somebody would listen to me. But hey, at least they listened to me and finally added the score of the game on the front so that you could actually see without hitting the back button how your team was actually doing. So great job with that, Infinity Ward. But expect a lot of Call of Duty Ghost videos from me this week. Let me know what you think about it. Are you liking this? Are you frustrated with this? I'm a little bit frustrated right now, but maybe that's just because it's just coming out. But let me know what you guys think. As always, take care and God bless.